Nadia with Next Best Picture.
Hey, Nadia. Thanks for having us.
Of course. Thanks so much for being here. How are you doing today?
Good.
Really good. It's great to talk about this movie
Yeah.
because we love it so much.
Easy.
Yes, I'm so happy to be speaking with you about it. It's so delightful, so
Aw.
creative. It made me laugh and cry, and I am feeling a family classic here. I think a lot of people are going to fall. Yes. A lot of people are going to fall in love with this film.
Oh, that's so nice.
You could, while we were doing it, because it took us 8 years to get this made. And while we were doing it, you could always feel the love. You could feel the love in development, the love on set and post, the love of the premiere. Like, it's just this real communal experience.
Yeah, it's been such an amazing film to be a part of. I feel so lucky.
Absolutely. And so joyous that it's out in the world, you know?
Yeah.
Surreal.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's dive right in here. So this film has a really neat concept of a girl who's processing her art through drawing. And it really encourages finding a healthy place for emotions like anger to live in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, what are some of the themes that you both gravitated towards initially when you read the script?
I loved that. I loved that she was dealing with her grief through her imagination and her art. That seemed like such a beautiful thing to explore, and the way Seth wrote it just seemed so realistic. And it's so funny how grounded this movie is, and yet half the movie is gigantic monsters clomping through the town. And then it's like two films in one, because then there's also this huge adventure story. And with these monsters that are larger than life, it just seemed like I loved it. I loved it. I read the script and I was like, get me on the next plane to Nashville.
Yeah. I mean, in addition to that, I loved the whole element of when people see it, especially parents and kids, there's the processing emotions, but there's also parents just kind of feeling that my character in the movie really thought he was making the best choice.
Right.
He thought like compartmentalizing feelings was like, hey, this is the best for my family. Come to find out, he wasn't the best choice, and he was open to changing. He was open to learning from his daughter, and then, taking a different direction. And I just feel like parents need to give themselves a break.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge learning curve.
Right.
We all need to give ourselves a break.
I know. And that there's kind of no right way to deal with grief. And
Yeah.
that it's so much about listening to each other and being open to your loved ones and your family.
Yeah. There's so many different outlets for grief and different outboxes.
There you go.
Yeah, I feel like humor, Darcy, you mentioned the grounded quality earlier, and the two of you have made me laugh so many times throughout your careers and brought so much joy.
It comes from so much pain.
There, she just added another laugh.
Yeah.
She just added another laugh.
And what I really appreciated about the humor in Sketch is that you do take a comedic lens to the story, because humor is such a fundamental part of being human, and it's such a normal part of grief as well, and which can really be felt in your character's dynamic and how they converse with each other. Right. And so what was that like, just navigating the comedic bits in the story? And did you get to improvise a lot with the dialogue?
Well, the script what he wrote was so great.
If there was a looseness, but honestly, I feel like we really stuck to the script. It was all in there.
We also had us together, just having that safety of trusting each other's kind of comic language. That was nice. We could take the script and then play.
Yeah.
And that's we knew our sandbox, and then we...
Exactly. Yeah. And I think Tony had such a grasp on what this character of Taylor was and what the tone of the movie was. And he had been working on it for so many years with Seth that I came in with an idea of what I thought it was going to be and who I thought Liz was, but it was so easy to just follow his lead. And, it definitely has, like a comedic undertone, but not like broad comedy in your face comedy, especially with Taylor and Liz. Liz Taylor.
Oh, Liz Taylor's in this movie?
Oh, she's in this movie. Yeah.
Wait a second.
Hold on. But it was...
Music is like, yes, Dane.
It was, it was it felt very natural to keep this grounded and just go with what Tony, follow his lead, really. It felt.
Yeah, and it was for both of us, it was a tough line, because you obviously the heaviness of losing a parent mixed with these crazy monsters that come out of nowhere and you want to pop jokes sometimes. But back and forth, there were times we would just talk to Seth and be like, I don't know if this works right, or how do you feel about this? And I'm telling you right now, having that collaboration on a set is always necessary, and it's not always the case.
Right.
But we were we were both really grateful that collaboration was always there.
It always benefits.
Always benefits
the project. Yeah.
Yeah, and you also worked with an incredible group of child actors.
I know, right?
My goodness, so incredible, delivering these really emotional monologues. And I'm curious to know, just in your experience working with them, did that spark a greater sense of, I suppose, play and imagination in terms of how you approached your characters in the story?
Yeah, you didn't work with them much, did you?
If you think back, like I was asked this.
One with Kalon. You had one scene with Kalon.
Yeah, I did. That was a fun day.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, maybe one of the first interviews we did, somebody asked me about the kids, and I was like, I loved working with the kids. And then I went, wait, I didn't work with the kids. but I got to, it was a small indie, and we were all together all the time, and I got to hang out with them a lot, and the crew loved them, and everybody was so impressed with not just their acting, but who they were as people. But Tony really got to spend a lot more time with them.
And they're just really, and it's not just their talent, they were good kids.
Right.
Which I think carries over into their performances. Right. And they also had great parents.
Yeah.
So the whole experience was just, and everybody also working on the movie were working way above their pay grade, all fans of Seth's. So there was a real just mutual love all over.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. One of the lines that really stood out to me was, you can't control your inbox, but you can't control your outbox, but you can't control your outbox. Yes. And I'm curious to know if you think of acting as a kind of outbox in some ways, and if there's a role that you've played that has helped you express yourself.
Oh, help me express myself. Yeah. For me, also, your microphone looks like a snow cone. Every time I look at it, I love snow cones. Anytime I get really angry in a character, it's kind of like a nice, like you can just lose it.
Yeah. It's true. I just, the other night, I'm working on another show right now, not to brag. Okay. Sorry.
Just give your resume.
I'll tell you later. No, but it was
scroll right here.
I just pass out my headshot resume. It was a sad scene where there was a lot of crying. It was me and another actress who I love, and I'll tell you who it is later. And it was like hours and hours of sitting on the floor crying. Ooh. And I was going down in the elevator with one of the grips afterwards, and he was like, that seems like that was a really hard day. And I was like, it was fun. Yeah. I don't know what is wrong with us, but it's like, it feels really good sometimes to get to like scream in a scene or cry in a scene and kind of like let it out. And it like that, because even though you're acting, there is something real about it, something in your soul that is getting.
You want to let it out.
Yeah.
And permission to.
Hey, Jennifer Garner. That's who I was working with. Gosh, sorry.
The name drop.
Sorry, just Jennifer Garner. Yeah, it was Jennifer Garner. It was Jennifer Garner. So.
Okay, gosh.
Pretty good name drop there.
Stop.
Well, I'm getting the wrap here, but I just wanted to say thank you both again for your time. It was such a pleasure chatting with you both. And
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, I'm so glad you liked it.
Absolutely loved it. And I really do think that this film will become an adventure that families will enjoy together and also spark creativity within people. And which is super special. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for saying that.
Thank you
very much. Hi, I'm Nadia with Next Best Picture.
Hey, Nadia.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. It's really great to meet the three of you. Thanks so much for being here. And congratulations, first and foremost, on this incredible film. It's so delightful, so imaginative, and I'm so happy to be chatting with you about it.
Oh, we are too. Thank you so much.
Seth, I wanted to start with you. I read that your pitch for the film was Jurassic Park meets Inside Out, which is very, very accurate. Could you speak to developing that pitch and kind of where the idea of Sketch came from?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was a kid, my younger sister got in trouble for drawing a picture of her teacher getting pelted with arrows. And there was just enough blood in this picture to merit her seeing a counselor. And the counselor asked her, like, did you really want to see this happen to your teacher? And she said, well, I did when I drew it. I don't now. And the counselor said, well, then I think you did the right thing. I think drawing this was a much healthier choice than doing it. And I remember hearing that as a kid and thinking, what a badass thing to say to a child, that this thing that made all the adults in your life scared of you was actually evidence that you're a good person making healthy emotional choices and processing your emotions in healthy ways. And I was like, that's the adult I want to be in some kid's life when I grow up. And then I grew up, had kids, and one day my daughter, who was in kindergarten at the time, brought home these pictures that were just inventively violent, just blood and parent death, like throughout. And I'm looking at these and I'm going, oh, you can believe two things at once. You can believe that art is the safest place for violence while also believing your daughter's a serial killer and it's somehow your fault. And that tension of these two things felt so immediately writable and funny to me, and it felt like a Tony Hale role, and that was kind of the genesis of the project.
Yeah, that balance with all of the tones, it comes across so incredibly well. Bianca and Kalon, I imagine this was a very unique and adventurous experience for the two of you to be a part of as well. Could you each tell me about the most fun day that you had on set of Sketch?
You want to go ahead? Yeah, it has to be all the filming with the Eiders.
Yeah.
Because it was just, like, the house had just been, like, destroyed, and there's some...
Well, yeah, I mean, these Eiders, talk about the Eiders and what they are, and, like, how, kind of what the scene was, like, the setup of it, where it was set. Like, what are the Eiders? They're...
These little, like, chalk spiders.
Yeah.
With, like, a little eyeball.
Little chalk spiders. Little eyeballs. And
little chalk spiders.
There's a ton of them. And none of them are there, obviously. They're added in post, but they're made of chalk, so they leave a wake of chalk dust in their wake, and as they're destroyed, and we destroyed a house in the process on purpose.
Yeah.
We found a house that was set for demolition, but that meant these kids got to, like, spray hoses and smash walls. Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, I think I had to agree with that for my favorite day or the most fun day on set. But I have another one. On the day that we were filming the final fight with Evil Amber, I'm not going to spoil a lot of things.
Attaboy.
I'm just saying, okay. And when I'm with Tadler and the blind one, that kind of forest setting, I love that area of Tennessee. It's really nice, and even though there were like always like 6 ticks on me. By the way, Toby did not violate any labor laws.
Why would you even say that?
Why would I say that?
If we didn't violate labor laws, why would you need to bring that up?
Yeah.
We really didn't, I promise.
Yeah, we didn't. It was really fun, though, just to be out in the woods, because I love nature, so it was just a nice experience being out there and filming a movie.
It was.
Yeah.
And violating no labor laws, apparently.
Yes, which is great. Well, it sounds like the three of you made a wonderful team as well. What did you all learn from working with each other and the other actors on set?
You have something to say about that?
Yeah, I learned that it's okay to let loose when you're acting, and it's okay to make mistakes, and like even like while you're doing the scene, because sometimes it turns into a funny moment.
Yeah, it's good life advice.
Yeah.
What about you, Cal?
I learned that the most important part of comedy is what is it? Timing. And you see how I was like trying to use it there? I mean, it didn't work as well. I did try to use it there.
I see. Yeah. Now I'm in.
There we
get
go.
it.
Well, the timing is great, and Kalon, you have a lot of great lines throughout the movie as well. I wanted to ask a little bit more about the monsters, because I love that they're made of whatever Amber drew them with, whether it's crayon or marker and glitter. Seth, I'd love to know more about where those designs came from, and for everybody, did you have a favorite monster?
Yeah, the designs were always, so some of them I had in mind. Dave, I knew I just wanted it to be a big blue ball with long legs and googly eye for an eye that would be have kind of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, presence in a scene. And I knew that the Eiders, I wanted to be a bunch of little red spiders with eyeballs for bodies. But beyond that, I didn't really have a specific vision for many of the monsters. So we had a concept artist from Ivy Studio, particularly an artist named Michael Cribbs, who did a bunch of passes on each of these. And once we'd kind of honed in a look for each monster, by the way, we had like 11 monsters that had to be designed and built and everything from scratch on a very, very low budget indie movie. So I wouldn't recommend doing 11 monsters to, indie filmmakers, but with the right team, if you hire all the people I did, you can pull it off. We took those designs and we actually, once we had a first pass of concept art, I gave them to my kids and the artists gave them to their kids, and we just let them draw their own interpretations of those monsters and copy it. And what we got from that was these lovely asymmetries with some legs longer than the others and these wonky different proportions in the bodies. And we took all those imperfections and integrated them into the concept art. And then just worked really hard with the VFX team led by Dan Sturm, our VFX supervisor, and tried to find a way to make monsters that were threatening while also being goofy looking as hell. And it allowed us to, if it wasn't scary, it was funny, and if it wasn't funny, it was scary. It was almost like kind of a margin for error it gave us. But it also created some really fun on set where we got to be blasting a lot of chalk powder outside, not indoors, because it's actually, chalk powder is really combustible and dangerous. But we, and paints, and it was such a messy shoot in such a beautiful way because of that aesthetic. It was really fun.
Yeah. I think some of my favorite monsters were the Stabodons, which I wish had tons more screen time because they were really cool. Yeah. And also the cat. I mean, not just because I'm a fan of cats, but just because it's so silly. When Liz and Taylor are arguing about there's more to this cat than it's letting on, and then as soon as Liz tries to touch it, it transforms into the scary tentacle cat. What are we gonna call that?
Did you know tentacle cat is what I called it? Did you know that was supposed to be the blood eater in the original script?
That was supposed to be the blood eater?
Yeah, no, supposed to just vomit crayon blood.
Blood.
Out of them. But I just felt weird dumping crayon blood all over our two movie stars in the movie, and we changed it to the cat.
It's like the Nickelodeon thing where they dump the slime on people.
100%. I grew up on Nickelodeon and movies like Men in Black. I love an exploding alien. I love slime. This movie's got tons of stuff like that. Well, who's your favorite?
I always say Dave, but to be honest, the Tattler.
The Tattler!
The Tattler is really cute.
Yeah.
It's really cute and
very
silly.
Cute. Yeah, sure. Mine are the Eiders. I love the Eiders. That's
yes. All of them have such a distinctive personality. Well, they're all wonderful choices. And again, congratulations on this incredible film. I hope that Sketch will become a film that kids grew up watching with their families as well. And it's just so creative and really one of the most enjoyable experiences. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.